ton of new powerful Marvel cards released, and these are my top picks. So, Quicksilver Brash is 1 red mana for a 1/1 legendary creature mutant hero with. If Quicksilver Brash is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with him on the battlefield. He has haste and power up. You can pay 4 of any color and 1 red to put a 1/1 counter and a double strike counter on Quicksilver. You can activate each power-up ability only once, and you reduce the cost by his mana cost if he entered at this turn. So first of all, having a free creature that will just come into play with haste for 0 mana is really strong for aggressive decks. Not only will it be a consistent source of damage, it's one way of using your pump spells on turn 1, because normally you need the 1 mana to play the creature, and then next turn you can play that. But with him, you can start pumping your creatures immediately, and you can have some pretty crazy turn 2 kills with this guy. So in Standard, in Best of 3, so your opening hand contains Quicksilver and Leyline of Resonance. Turn 1, use a pump spell that gives +3 power, which are pretty normal. Your Quicksilver goes to 7, hits for 7. You go to turn 2. Now you use 2 more pump spells that give +3 power, which turns him into a 13 power attacking creature. That plus your 7 that you did in turn 1 is 20 damage, getting you a turn 2 lethal. Now, if you do that on the play, your opponent only gets 1 mana to interact with that combo. So if they don't have a blocker or a removal spell, they're just dead. So he's going to enable some really crazy fast starts. But what makes him especially interesting is that he's also good late game. You can either have him from the start and keep hitting your opponent until you get to 5, and then you can instant speed this ability onto him before damage, maybe surprising your opponent with lethal or with a creature kill. Or you can play this on turn 5 as a 2/2 double strike haste. Isn't the greatest for 5 mana, but is a pretty decent finisher for a red aggro deck. So yeah, I think this card is really good, and will definitely enable some really fast kills on. So the next card I want to talk about, because it's absolutely absurd, is the Coming of Galactus. It's 2 of any color and 2 black and 1 green for a saga with Chapter 1, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Chapter 2 and 3, each opponent lose 2 life, and Chapter 4, create a legendary 16/16 black elder alien creature token with flying trample, and whenever Galactus attacks, destroy target land. So this is a 5 mana 16/16. Obviously you have to wait 4 turns before you get that creature. But that is an absolutely huge bust. I think with this card is it will be a really good control finisher. It comes in, gives you immediate value, destroy any non-land permanent, which is really good. The next 2 chapters aren't great, but they kind of actually work with the last one. Because let's say your opponent is at 20 when you play this. He will take 4, go down to 16 HP, and now you have a 16/16 attacker with flying trample and destroy a land that can hit and kill them. So this card by itself has enough to burst your opponent, which makes it really interesting and kinda absurd. This last card is the strongest mono black payoff I've seen in a while. So he's triple black for a 3/3 legendary creature human noble villain with whenever you cast a black spell from your hand, Baron Zemo connives. He has a boast, exile any number of black cards from your graveyard with 15 or more black mana symbols among their mana cost. Copy those exiled cards. You may cast up to 3 of the copies without paying their mana cost. So first of all, he's a 3/3 that will get bigger every spell you cast in the right deck if you're playing mono black. He'll get big really fast, and all the cards you're putting in your grave become fodder for his second ability, which goes insane. If you can trigger this, getting 3 free spells is absurd. It will definitely win you that game. So he's a really good source of card advantage, he's a threat, and he has a game-winning ability. That's a lot for 3 mana. So far the Marvel cards that were released seem decently powered, unlike the Spider-Man set. So it's giving me a bit of hope. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one.